first emergency calls came in within minutes. At that point, surveillance cameras inside the school were still recording normal student movement in the hallways. But within a very short window of time, the situation changed from a routine school day into a full-scale emergency response. What investigators later reconstructed from CCTV footage, 911 audio, and body cam recordings would raise serious questions about response timing, communication breakdowns, and situational awareness inside the school. Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, was operating on a normal school schedule on February 14, 2018. Students were attending classes, moving between buildings, and preparing for dismissal later that afternoon. At the same time, the suspect had already arrived on campus. According to official investigative reports, the suspect entered the school premises shortly before the attack began. Surveillance footage later showed movement through hallways and stairwells. Investigators reconstructed his path using CCTV cameras, witness statements, radio communications, building access points. The early timeline remains one of the most carefully analyzed segments of the entire case. As the situation unfolded, multiple 911 calls were made from inside the school. Students and staff reported hearing gunfire and moving away from affected areas. School resource officers and law enforcement units began responding to the campus. However, early confusion regarding the exact location of the suspect affected the initial tactical response. One of the most heavily discussed aspects of the investigation involves the response of law enforcement once on site. Investigators reviewed radio transmissions, body cam footage, tactical positioning, and entry decisions. Multiple agencies coordinated a perimeter around the school while assessing internal conditions. This phase of the incident later became a central focus of official reviews and public hearings. As the situation developed, students and staff began evacuating classrooms and moving through designated exits when possible. CCTV footage and witness testimony helped investigators map classroom lockdown behavior, evacuation timing, movement through hallways, and points of confusion during escape. Each movement was later reconstructed minute by minute. Following the incident, authorities conducted a detailed reconstruction using surveillance systems, 911 recordings, cell phone data, ballistic reports, and forensic mapping. The investigation focused heavily on timeline accuracy, entry points, response delays, and communication breakdowns. Court proceedings and official reports later expanded on these findings in detail. In the years following the incident, multiple hearings examined law enforcement response procedures, school security protocols, and emergency communication systems. The case became widely studied in relation to crisis response strategy and school safety systems. The suspect was apprehended shortly after the event and later faced trial. The case resulted in extensive national discussion regarding school security and emergency response procedures. However, many aspects of the response timeline continue to be analyzed by investigators, researchers, and policymakers. And even years later, the Parkland investigation remains one of the most extensively documented school incidents in modern history. While the sequence of events has been reconstructed in detail, discussions continue regarding how different parts of the response unfolded in real time. What remains clear is that the case changed how institutions examine crisis preparedness and response coordination. Some questions have been answered through official reports, and others remain part of ongoing review.